Welcome back. This is Craving More, a CrossFit Crave podcast where we find motivation through obstacles, resistance, and everyday life. With your co-hosts, Matt and CJ.
Today on the podcast, we're going to talk about confidence and nerves and how that ties into our culture blueprint. Going to the gym can be intimidating, and confidence is generally very low when just starting out. Maybe you'll even battle that confidence in either everyday life or just in the gym in general. But the biggest thing to note is that everyone has been where you are when you first start. Everyone took ramp-up classes. Everyone had their first day where they debated turning around constantly on the way to the gym. And believe it or not, everyone is fearful of holding the class back. Growth as a human requires discomfort. If you always seek comfort and safety, you're giving up any hope of surprising yourself with finding out what you're actually capable of and of amazing opportunities life has to offer. Whether that's playing with your kids or your grandkids the way you'd love to do it, or a sweet trip to the mountains or beach without being confined to the car or indoors all the time. CrossFit and the community we are trying to develop is about improving yourself and your quality of life. There's a reason there is an unlimited amount of modification for workouts, and there's a reason why we have our ramp-up classes. We don't expect everyone to come in here knowing everything and crushing all the workouts. Part of the beauty of starting something this difficult is to see people improve and become happier and healthier and ultimately a more functioning member of society as a whole. You don't get to that point, though, without first overcoming the lack of confidence and the nerves about starting. So now let's dive into this conversation about confidence, nerves, and how that ties into our community.
CJ.
Matt.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome back to yet another podcast. Craving More podcast. We're back. We're doing this weekly. We released last week's, which was a recorded one from 2 months ago. Dr. Libby Wilson. So that's episode 2. We talked about adrenal fatigue. So if you haven't listened to that one, it's a really good one. You should go back and listen to that. And
such an outstanding and intelligent woman.
Yep, no question about it. It's great to partner with her. Yeah, it's really good. She's going to come back on the podcast. We'll talk about the next step. And once we get through adrenal fatigue, I think we talk about the gut and gut health. And that's where I'm at right now, going through my 9-month series with her one-on-one.
You take like a 2-month break and we're right on schedule.
I know, right? So we got through the adrenal fatigue part, and now we're jumping into gut health. So that's what I'm going through right now. Third, it's kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So what are we going to talk about today?
Well, that was the intro part, right?
Yeah, that was the intro part.
Confidence and nerves and how it ties into our culture blueprint here at CrossFit Crave.
That's right. So the reason we wanted to talk about this, right, is because there's always been a hesitation to walk in the door of not just CrossFit, but really any exercise facility, any gym.
Really anywhere in life, like, that's harder. It's like a big change, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anything not comfortable.
That's right. Anything out of your element, something you're not used to.
Right.
Things you have to go out and go to become a part of. That means get out of where your safe space is. That could be out of your house, could be off your block, could be out of your city, whatever your safe space is.
Any things that help you grow, really, just as a person in general. Mm-hmm. That's hard. Discomfort's hard.
Yep.
But that's where growth is.
Yep. It's this podcast is, I think it's good timing. Next week we'll release our first of a series of conversations with Dr. Aaron Kuhn, where we tie together the mental part of what physical exercise does, either positive or negatively, and how that can be viewed, how it can affect you personally, how it can affect the people around you, and your ability to get outdoors and start doing something. So
I really enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I listened to it again just this weekend as I worked through formatting it, and man, it was a lot of good topics, a lot of good things discussed there. So I'm excited to finish and carry on that series with Aaron. But so we already know that there's a preconceived notion about CrossFit, but there's that same notion about anyone that's sedentary, anyone that's not used to going out and getting physical exercise in, to go to anywhere, whether it's the Rockford gym, the Barry and his guys over in Rockford, or Snap Fitness, or it's F45, or any of those locations, there's always, and will always be for the most part, somebody hesitating to go because of that, the fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get comfortable, right? Or I'm going to be uncomfortable and I don't like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Or you're going to be the worst person in there. You're going to hold everyone back.
That's right.
These moms on this cycle class are killing it. Like, I can't kill it like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not going to be able to pick up 50-pound dumbbells because I can only do 10, and safely that's all I should use. But I'm going to go into this Snap Fitness gym or whatever, and there's going to be somebody grabbing 50-pound dumbbells, and they're going to look at me like, well, why don't you use 50s?
Yeah.
Which
is the last thing that's in their head right now.
Exactly.
They're just worried about themselves anyway.
Yeah, that's right. At that point in time, that's all they're worried about is themselves. That's right. What I'd like to do as a part of this is talk about our culture here at CrossFit Crave, and for the most part, culture across the CrossFit community in general, because I think that most of the upstanding locations that put CrossFit as either their name before or after another word, like ours is CrossFit Crave, some start with CrossFit, most of those locations have the same, I'll say, culture or belief. In ours, we break it up into 3 categories, right? We talk about what we believe in here at CrossFit, CrossFit Crave, our CrossFit, what we believe in, how we behave, and then the outcome we achieve. And those 3 categories are broken up into 3 separate areas. So if you look at what we believe, first part is consistency. Okay, so we believe in consistency. And that means consistency in movement, human movement. As coaches, as you and I look at our athletes that come in here, we want to make sure that they're moving properly, right? Accountability, coaching skills, and then attitude. So that's the consistency and how we behave to that consistency. So everyone's the same.
Well, attitude here is, I think all those qualities are just as much internal as they are external.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Or just as much, you should treat other people that way, but you should treat yourself that way as well.
Exactly. Yep. So whether you're in the gym or at home or at school or at work, consistency in those areas, movement maybe not so much at work, maybe your movement.
You'd be picking up a box.
That's right. Yeah, it could be picking up a box or a pin off the floor, right? So consistency in movement. Accountability, that's, be accountable to yourself and others, right? And coaching skills, that's us. That's on, the staff here, right? And then your attitude and effort, like you just said, your attitude should carry on and your effort should carry on, whether you're in a workout setting or at home, right? And then those outcomes for consistency, is growth, results, you're achieving goals that you may have and that type of thing. So I guess what we want to talk about is if somebody's nervous or scared or I don't want to start CrossFit, you got to understand our culture is different than what you would see at a Snap Fitness where you're really there just kind of, and I can say Snap, it could be any 24-hour Globo gym. I'm not necessarily picking on them. It's just because I know their name and it's easy to do so. But our culture here is different, and that's why it's more inviting for people to come in and stay here, if that makes sense.
I think we have a consistent culture as well. I didn't really think about this before, but you saying that kind of sparked something. But the 24-hour gyms, they're gonna have different cultures at different times of the day. The majority of people are gonna go work out at say 5:30 because everyone's getting off work, and whether you have it might be the muscleheads might be in the gym at 5:30 all the time, so it might be a musclehead gym then.
Right.
But then you get 9 o'clock in the morning, and you got your mom's killing it in the cycle class or something.
That's right. Yeah.
So then, depending on what time of day you go, you're just gonna have different people and different. What we build here is it's all the same. Everyone's friendly. You're gonna just get. It's a community. It's a family, right?
Right.
You're just gonna have. It's gonna be consistent.
That's right. It's gonna be.
I think
consistent.
that's very important.
Yeah. The community and culture is consistent. The people are constantly varied. See how I did that?
Yeah.
The people are
And
constantly
they do
varied,
functional movements.
right? Because no one person's alike.
Right.
But when they come in here, our next portion of this, what we believe is equality. When they come in here, they're all equal in our mind. From our culture, from our coaches, from how we treat people, from how we coach, everyone's the same, regardless of your age, your size, your makeup, your religion. Doesn't matter.
Especially when just starting.
Yeah, exactly. And when I say equality, and I'm glad you brought that up, we may break you into, let's say, 3 categories. You're a beginner or novice, and that could start at day 1 through 3 years, honestly, because nobody masters anything in that short amount of time, right? You could be in middle of the run, an average, I'll say.
Average Joe.
CrossFitter, right? You're an intermediate CrossFitter, and that intermediate could go from year 3 to I've been in the game 10 years, and I'm still an intermediate athlete. No question about it. There's some things I can't do. And then you have your advanced athletes, right? Call it your athletes that are skilled because they come from an environment that created that outside of CrossFit. They were, some type of collegiate high school athlete, a collegiate athlete, some professional athlete, somebody that comes in with that skill, or they've been in CrossFit and are at say a games level, which is an elite or professional level athlete, right?
And they're putting in the work, like
the hours,
going home, they're doing stuff when people aren't looking.
That's right.
And their diet's probably on point.
Exactly.
They're doing yoga.
That's right. Yep. They're doing all of the extra stuff.
Yep. Accessory stuff.
That me especially, not necessarily, I'm not speaking for you, but me especially, the common, ordinary guy that's trying to get his better fitness is going to be in that intermediate probably range for a long time, if not forever, and that's okay. I'm still getting a good workout in. I'm still maintaining my health. And
a common mediocre CrossFit dude is gonna do very well in life.
Yeah, very well. Yep, very well. So that's that's one of the things from a blueprint or a culture that, regardless of where you're starting from, at what point you're starting from, beginner, intermediate, advanced, you're going to be treated the same. The expectation is going to be the same. Everyone here is equal. So when you come in, the workouts are going to be the same style workout for each individual, but it's going to be tailored to your ability. So you're still going to be expected to do the workout, but you're not going to be expected to do maybe the rep scheme, maybe the movement that everyone else is going to do, right? So you're equal and you're treated individually to make sure that your needs are met and your capabilities are accessible to you and can work here in this environment. If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then I think finally what we believe, that last part, is community, and our big how we behave here is welcoming. Like, we're always welcoming anyone that comes in, on time or late.
Especially if you're late.
Especially if you're late, you're really welcome with some super awesome burpees.
Gotta love it.
And some high fives, and and we want to make sure we maintain that. So what are some of the things, what are some of the steps that people that we know about? We know we're different here. We know we're about community. What are some of the things that that maybe we could help people as they make that decision to come into CrossFit for a workout for the first time? What are your thoughts there?
Well, I think number one is you don't have to get in shape before coming to the gym.
Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. Like, the gym is where you get in shape, and you have people, whether you think you're going to get in shape before you come to the gym or not, when you're at the gym, you have people and coaches to lead you through the exercises properly and hold you accountable. That's going to be, you're going to get in shape so much faster than you think you can on your own or at home. And I mean, it's definitely possible to do it on your own or at home.
Yeah.
But if you're getting in shape to go to the gym, that's super counterintuitive, you know?
Yep.
So I don't know. When you come here, you make friends, you improve your lifestyle, and you don't. The way I always think about it is you don't have to read the Bible before you go to church.
That's right.
You know, if you haven't read the Bible, you're not going to burst into flames right when you get into church.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know. that's probably where you should be, is church.
You have to start somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of our athletes today. We recorded this after one of our Sunday open gyms, and an athlete come in, and he heard an individual talk about his journey through CrossFit, and he was 400 pounds plus. He's a really tall guy, 6'4", 6'5", really tall guy, but he was really, really heavy. And this individual, he happens to own and raise legalized marijuana all over the U.S. He lives in Hawaii, but it does this all over the U.S. And he talked about his journey through CrossFit, and he went from 400 pounds to like a 250, 260, still big individual. But the word that he kept coming back to is, I don't have to go. I don't need to go. I get to go every day.
Mm-hmm.
I get to get there. I get to go get a workout in. I have the opportunity, and I'm going to do it because I can, and I get to.
The self-talk is absolutely amazing.
That's right.
We could probably do a whole other podcast on self-talk.
No question about it.
But the positive self-talk, yeah.
Yep.
Like, I don't have to go pick my kids up. I get to go pick my kids up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. I don't know that guy. I don't know that story.
Yep.
Have to hear about that.
Yep.
But I like that a lot. The second thing I think would be to bring a friend. Everyone likes dragging the best friend.
Yeah.
To just go and do something crazy.
Yep.
Right.
And I think that's a great idea too, and I think that's something that we need to ensure that we do here. I know that's a practice that we should place. Anytime somebody new calls, hey, I want to come check out CrossFit. Awesome. Come on in. Bring a friend too. Don't do it alone. Bring a friend.
Right.
Bring them in with you. Get you in your comfort zone because you've got somebody that you've conned to come in, right?
Exactly.
Or drug along with you. It's always better to do that when you're comfortable with your surroundings. Coming in the door for the first time can be the scariest thing. Bring somebody along.
Right.
Help you out. Once you get in here, you'll go, oh, okay, this is not so bad.
Yeah. I can countless situations in my life where I'm about to do something and I really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Just call a good buddy up like, hey,
Yep.
dude, this is going to be really cool. We should do it.
Yeah, that's right. Why don't you come along?
Yeah. I'm
They
just
said you
terrified,
could.
but it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. They said I could bring you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's a great idea. It's a really good idea. What else do you have?
To come a little bit early just to settle your nerves a little bit. So, I don't know. In our box, people come here early quite a bit. They'll probably talk to you, maybe get some light stretching in, work out the nerves a little bit, get it a little more adapted to the atmosphere.
Yep.
There's just right before we started filming this, one of the athletes was talking about the pre-WOD shits. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that is so real. Everyone's freaking out. You just got a line around the door.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Like everyone's in the same boat as you. It's fine.
That's right. Yeah. Everyone feels the same
Just a
way.
common thing.
Yep. And I can remember feeling that way young. Like first T-ball practice.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
nervous. Like I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I
The
can't
ball's
go.
just sitting on this tee. I know I'm going to
That's
miss
right.
it and it's going to be
Yep.
terrible.
Yep. Thinking about all of the excuses of why I can't go today. I can't go to practice today. Can't. I can remember specifically in high school even, and I had quote unquote friends, that I hung out with, and I played football and I played baseball. I can remember sitting in class like, oh man, how can I get out of tonight's practice? I don't want to go. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get beat up.
Right.
I'm going to get hit hard. I'm going to strike out. I'm going to get knocked out at football twice. That happened.
Yeah.
But I can remember having those conversations. And I wish then that I have the mentality now, like, yeah, I should have told someone.
Right.
Because the guy next to me probably had the same issues.
Do you know why you have that mentality now?
Why?
Because you did it.
Because, yeah.
You grow from those situations.
Yeah, no question about it.
So that's
Yeah.
why you have to come in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's why you have to come in.
The
and
difficult, not necessarily even come in, but just you have to go through difficult things.
That's right.
And that's how you grow.
Yeah. That's a great point. And I think we need to do a better job of when somebody calls to say, I want to come in, yeah, why don't you come in and bring a friend with you?
No, I agree.
Yep. Pick somebody, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, mom, dad, whatever. Grab them, bring them in. That way you're not going it alone. Even if they just come in and watch, cool. Let them come in with you, right?
Yeah.
Bring them along.
Got plenty of space here.
That's right.
I think another thing that makes a workout so nerve-wracking, like I still get nerve-wracked or nervous,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been doing this for 2 years. Like, it's gonna suck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know that, and it's the
Right.
same for everyone. But you're just like, it's like right before a competition, you're just like, oh, you're kind of like, you get the jitters, you know?
Yep.
Well, if you have those jitters on top of, gosh, I don't know anyone here, I'm new here, I'm probably holding back the class, I'm probably, you know?
Yep.
It's I don't know. But we understand. We've all been there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But
What else you got?
asking questions. If you have a question, it's not a big deal at all. Just ask a coach.
That's right.
This is what I try to tell everyone in the intro. There's approximately 7 billion different movements, and then 7 billion different ways to arrange those movements in a workout.
Yeah.
You're most certainly not expected to know them all, and honestly, you're probably not the only one with a question if you don't know what's going on,
That's right.
you know?
Yep.
So we had, like, everyone here had no idea what was going on when they started either. So the coaches or people around you are going to be more than happy to help you.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I like it. Ask questions.
Yeah.
You're not going to slow class down. Trust me.
Yeah. No. I've slowed it down much worse.
Yep. That's right.
Just being a squirrel and forgetting where I left all my stuff. It's fine.
That's right. Wait, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, there's always that person.
That's right.
The fifth one was kind of, I don't know. I read this and it kind of spoke a little bit, but just dress the part. I thought exactly, like instantly thought about my mom. She's like, when I see people working out, like my ideal gym person has a headband on and is just rocking it. So
Yeah.
my mom always wears a headband.
Yeah.
Like she bought a headband and an extremely weird jacket.
Mm-hmm.
I love the jacket, but it's really weird. She just wore it. She's like, this is my gym jacket.
Yeah.
Just makes her feel comfortable and confident, I guess, when she comes to the gym.
Yeah. That's good.
But you're going to get hot and sweaty anyway, so you might as well look good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that doesn't mean you have to go out and get certain
No.
special shoes or.
Yeah. I wear no shoes usually and
Yeah.
no shirt, so I
Yep.
don't have to do my laundry.
Yep. That's the way my daughter Taylor does when she does make it to a class. She goes barefoot because she didn't like to wear shoes while
Right.
she CrossFits. That wouldn't be me.
My
but-
mom wears sandals.
Yeah. Right. Good on you. Good on you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
But
I
whatever,
couldn't-
whatever makes you happy and comfortable.
That's right.
Like I find it freeing to not have to, like,
Yeah.
I don't have to wear shoes. I don't have to, and you go into like a Globo gym and they're like shoes
Mhm.
required or whatever, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Yeah. That's right.
But yeah.
Awesome.
So whatever works for you. But the majority of people do have shoes on and just
Mhm.
a normal shirt, you know.
That's right.
Then I think, so everyone expects to come out like killing it their first time, or like, oh, I should be doing better, I should be doing this. For at least the first couple weeks, you should be taking it very easy anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big change for your body.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it to go all out really hard one day and then you're out for a week because you can't get off the couch.
Yeah.
And then you try to come back again and then the same thing
Yeah.
happens. Just take it nice and easy. You're not competing with anyone and you shouldn't feel bad for being behind in a workout.
Yeah.
You should be in your own lane the whole workout,
That's right.
and you're not going to be holding the class back at all.
That's right. Yep. The coach is there to help you scale appropriately to make sure that
Mhm.
you stay in your lane,
Right.
so to speak. They're also there to promote you to get a little uncomfortable at times. We
Mhm.
want you uncomfortable because that's where change happens,
occurs.
right? But not uncomfortable to a point where you regress, you go backwards. That's not what we're going for,
Mm-hmm.
right? That uncomfort is step towards being healthier, and that's the goal.
Yep.
So we want you to get there, but yeah, you want to make sure you stay in your lane, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the
I hope
thing
you do
too. I
that.
mean, you mentioned modifications. There's a million modifications for every movement.
mm-hmm. Yep,
If you can't do anything,
yeah,
there's going to be 10 other things that you can do that are going to work the same muscle group probably.
that's right.
So,
Yep.
I don't know.
And
And you're going to finish with those modifications. You're going to finish about the same time as anyone anyway.
exactly.
We have a podcast on that,
Yeah,
but everyone's going to be about the same time.
yeah, and that's a perfect example and a good one to use. Even today, the workout that I did with 4 or 5 other of our other athletes, really good athletes, of which I'm not anywhere near their caliber. So we all had the same movement structure for the most part. We were supposed to do the same rep count, right, and stay in the same time domain. There were 3 15-minute windows that you had to stay inside of. So going right out of the gate, I'm like, well, there's no way I can. We have a 1%er in that, literally a 1%er in that class. And I'm like, there's no way I can even come close to that ability of that individual. So I know I'm gonna have to scale right away. And then midway through the first 15-minute window, I'm like, I got to scale even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did the reps, I did the movements that was required, but my scale was a quarter of what the other athletes did. Still did the same time, finished about the same. Each 15-minute window, I finished about the same time as the rest of them, doing a quarter of the work that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get a workout? I'm still wet.
Yeah. That's honestly a very good point, though. You can scale in the middle of the workout.
That's right.
You don't have to, like, oh, this weight's way too heavy, but I don't want to be that person that's, like, I don't know, making the coach do extra work to try to take. Like, that's why they're there.
That's right.
You shouldn't never put yourself in harm's way just so you don't have to. It's just so you're not a nuisance.
That's right. Yep. And it's always good to have that conversation. Today was a Sunday, so I was coaching, so I'm the one that took it on myself to say, hey, Matt, scale.
Mm-hmm.
Knock, knock, knock.
Right.
It's always good to ask the question to a coach, hey, even if it's in the middle of the workout, if you're 1 or 2 movements in of a 10 movement program for that day and everyone else is 3/4 of the way, you ask a question to a coach. Say, hey, coach, I'm only on like the 3rd movement of 10 movements. What should I do? Oh, let's cut those reps down. Or, hey, let's remove this movement and this movement because it's not safe for you right now. It's not adequate. Let's move on to this one so we can keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Always ask questions.
Right. Good. So I think the last big reason would just be to remember your why. Like, whatever reason you came here for, or wanted to work out for, or wanted to go through the difficult things for, whether it's the gym or not.
Yeah.
Before all the anxiety and your nerves and stuff hit when you got to the door, remember that you knew you had to change your life. Like, you knew you had to do it. And that's why you're there. Don't compare yourself to others. Nobody wants someone that brags about winning a workout or whatever.
That's right.
Everyone is just as in their own head as you are. They're probably thinking the exact same thing you are. Like, oh, that person over there is doing good, or oh, what are they doing? Or like, oh, they're probably looking at me. But like, or gosh, I hope nobody thinks I'm going slow, or dang, that person is crushing it, and I'm pretty sure my bike is turned off because these calories aren't counting worth of crap.
Yeah,
you know, everyone goes through that when they're riding the bike.
Yeah.
But just stay in your own lane and be proud that you are getting a workout done and improving yourself.
Yeah.
That's the exact reason you came here. And just, it's like you got to win the small battles, you know? Like, I came to the gym. Oh, perfect. That's a win for today.
That's right.
You know?
Our goal is to realistically, our goal here is to help prevent the spread of chronic disease.
Right.
Period. Plain and simple.
And
how do we do that? We get people moving, get them off the couch, maybe change their diet, right? And at least once a day, they're in here for an hour doing something where they didn't do that yesterday.
Right.
Right.
And it's a weird domino effect too. Like, you come into the gym and you're working out, and then all of a sudden you're making healthier decisions nutritionally.
That's right.
You're like, well, when did I start doing that? It's just, that's a lifestyle change.
Yeah. And the people that you surround yourself with on a day-to-day basis at home then start to see that.
Yep.
One of my very best friends from school that I've really not had much connection with since we were early 20s, same age as graduated, same age as us, my wife and I. He's now coming to the gym, and he's bound and determined to lose 100 pounds, and he'll lose 100 pounds. I know his will. I know where he's at from his mindset, and I know he also wouldn't mind me saying this. He's plus 300, right? And I think he's down 14 or 15 pounds. He's been here 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks now, right? His pants are feeling different. So for me, it's like, I want to help you get there. For him, he's got a beautiful wife at home. They've got a beautiful little boy that has Down syndrome. His goal is to be able to be on this earth for them. And the only way he's going to be able to maintain that is he's got to get those 100 pounds off. right? It's a health concern now. And that's what we're here for. And even if it's day one or day week or the first week or the first month and all you do is come in and ride a bike because that's all you can handle, so be it.
Yeah.
We're here to help you. Can't do the normal programming because you're too unconditioned to do that, great. Come on in.
Yeah. And then that's the thing too, like, never feel bad for asking a question for a coach or feel like you're holding the class back or
That's right.
be too scared to come in. Like, this is why we're here. This is why we both have the jobs that we do because we want to help these people.
That's right.
You're like, the people that aren't here are the exact reason that we want to be here.
That's right.
So we can help you.
Yeah, exactly.
This morning I went on a run with one of our members, and she was telling me when we were running that she, when she first started running, she's down like 80 pounds. When she first started running, she couldn't run a quarter of a mile. So 400 meters, she couldn't run. Now she's done 4 miles. She put a 20-pound vest on, and we went and did 2 miles this morning at 11-minute pace.
Nice.
And when she started, I don't know how long, not that long ago, she couldn't even run 400 meters.
Yeah.
So she's like, my whole life just like flipped around.
That's perfect.
Like, it's going to take work, but it's worth it.
That's what we're here for.
Yes.
Yep. So I think that's good. That's a good conversation. I think that's where we should probably wrap things up for today. I think we covered a lot of good points today already. There has been a lot of, one of the reasons we want to talk about who we are here, our culture here at CrossFit Crave. CrossFit's been in the news and the media and all that jazz over the course of the last several weeks, and so be it. We've made it a point not to come out and make a statement of that, not because we're trying to be silent. It's because we've have things in place already and have had things in place for years that we don't feel we have to address those issues because we've been working consistency, equality, community. We've been working in those areas since the beginning.
Right.
For us here in our CrossFit Crave facility, right? And talking about what we're talking about now goes back to the fact of just start, come in. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Come in the door. Let us
right.
help you get to your goals.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have to change anything because we've already been doing it. Right?
Yeah. No, I think that's a great point to add.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Good. So pay attention to next week. We'll drop Dr. Kuhn's message. So that'll be kind of cool to listen to. And then we'll go from there.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sounds great.
It's good to be back. Thanks, Dave.
Finally
at O2.
got our O2s back again.
Yep. We're back in
God bless
action. IV in a can right here.
IV in a can.
Right on, man. Cool.
Cheers,
Thanks.
brother. Oh, loud.